Elvis can't hurt you. He's not real. Oh, where? 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 Oh, you don't know the hound dog. Oh shit, it's doing the thing. Oh, you don't know the hound dog.
I sent it to you.
Hello.
We are Captain Kirk. We fly the USS Enterprise. We fight for the galaxy.
Bandwidth 777 subscribed to your channel for 13 months.
Wow.
Man.
I think that's a good
Oh, I
angle.
hate that. Wait, do I do an eye check now?
Yeah,
too?
yeah.
Hold on.
So-
Good streaming angle.
This is what you
Okay, there we
see
go, there you
when you keep your eyes open and you're kissing somebody. That's what you see, actually.
This is the dildo's point of view.
Are we all doing this? Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. Jordan.
Hold on. My eyes are not looking as blue as they usually do right now.
No, my lighting sucks. And also I'm having an allergic reaction.
Oh my
Not a serious one.
And I hit my head on the ceiling frolicking.
Come to play PUBG. No, I don't want to play PUBG. That's a weird thing to put in a YouTube comment.
Play PUBG with me. I wanna see.
Okay, really? You're
Gonna do that to me? Oh, okay. Hello. Come play PUBG with me. I wanna see your titties. Okay. Hello?
Oh, damn. Hello.
Did y'all know that the mimic mimics other kinds of ghosts in the game?
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. At all. Yeah, you can spend an hour in a place and not get the fucking
We're
evidence.
redoing this, right?
Redoing what?
We're redoing our random because it gave us fucking Tanglewood.
Friends,
No.
a fucking cow loaded in sideways with y'all. I don't know what the fuck I just saw.
Yeah. No! Jojo! I was right the fuck here! I can see through the door, don't worry. He's close as fuck, I hear him. Oh my god, he's right on the corner, Jojo! He's coming! He's coming! Never mind, he's gone. He's running away. Oh no! Ah! No! Someone clip that, please. That was
Maurice.
Heel erg Maurice.
Okay, okay. Why do
Wow, 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 wow. Hello, everybody. Hope you like the clips. You know, we've only had one clip made in the past 7 days. I know that because I checked my clips page and there was one thing there from Mama yesterday. I was just thinking about it because, the most recent clips show up on that thing. Those are indeed clips. The fucking cats spilled my glazed bro nuts. Now I have nut glaze over here. Why would you do that to me? Hello. Hello, Dudu. And hello, Teddy. And hello, Fank. Funk Off Me. Ashland. Bandwidth. Bandwidth, thank you for the 13 months. I appreciate you. Bren, hello. Teddy. Chip. Mig. Miss World. Good to see you guys. It's Friday! I got scared they got egg on your floor. No, they got the glazed nut on my floor. Teddy's on the 7-stream streak. That's crazy. Guys, what Fank won't tell you is that today I finally got them their Dorito Loco Taco. So I'd like everyone to give a big round of applause to Mr. Fank. They finally got paid. HR had to step in and get this man paid. Of course, of course. Thanks for the 75 stream streak, by the way, Funk Off Me. That's massive. Holy shit. Thank you. It's Friday, Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Partying, partying, yeah! Partying, partying, yeah! Fun, 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 fun. Looking forward to the weekend. Yesterday was Thursday, Thursday. Today it is Friday, Friday. We so excited. We so excited. Sorry, I know like all of the lyrics to that song. I grew up at just the right time. Has everyone left the stream yet? Is anyone still here? Anyways. I just got out of the pool, so Dorito tacos in like an hour. W. Yeah, that's your fault. That is not even my fault. I have nothing to do with that. I'm here because I'm forced to be. No one's forcing anyone to be anywhere. Okay? There's let's see. Hello, Combsy. Guys, oh my god. Speaking of Maisie, okay? I commented on Maisie's newest post about obsession. A fucking joke. And I know the whole internet doesn't know that Maisie and I are friends and we do goofs and gaffs on each other. But I've never received so much hate in my life on the internet other than this comment I left on Maisie's fucking post. Okay? I'll see if I can pull it up. It's so bad. It's so bad. The internet's so mean. And it's like it's even coming from people who would fuck with us. Like just normal ass people on the internet just railing me in the ass. It's so mean. Let me pull it up. Okay. This is where we're at right now. Okay. I said obsession this, backrooms that. Why don't you go back to your room and obsess over some job applications? Okay. Not my joke. It's a funny meme I saw on Instagram, and I wanted to be funny and be like, haha, Maisie, get a job, ha ha ha. Like, you know, friends banter with each other, you know? And of course, Macy's there, W Macy. understand what the fuck a joke is. And, you know, some people talking about how He-Man's great, yada, yada, yada. And then here comes the bad stuff. We got about 3 nice comments, and then it just starts coming in. You think movies are free, homie? This one's actually pretty funny. Job applications are scarier than both these movies. Here's a good one. No way the off-brand Omegle streamer telling people to get jobs. Laughing, crying emoji. Thank you, B-Boy, for the 65 stream streak. This is funny. This guy's probably posting his gift to, like, try and sell, like, how I feel when I made that comment, which is funny as shit. Anyways, this person said, wow, Cameron, you are so different. This is actually kind of funny. No, bro, Backrooms is a cautionary tale about what happens if you get a job. Miss me with that shit. The person who called me the off-brand Omegle streamer, I said, I'm joking. I'm sorry. It was a meme. I saw the movie and I loved it. I replied to another person, said, yo, I love both these movies. I swear I'm not an insufferable prude. I was leaving a funny comment on my friend's post. Please spare me. I said, I'm gonna have to go on an apology tour for making this comment. Maisie said, everyone leave my bro Cam alone. He didn't do nothing. It was a joke. I replied to somebody else who said something absolutely fucking crazy. They said some crazy shit, and I replied with the skull emoji and the flower emoji. This girl said, write your own jokes, people, for the love of God. I said, never claimed I made the joke. I was making a funny comment on my friend's video telling them to get a job. The joke is that this is their job, and we often bust each other's balls jokingly. And now everyone is coming for my fucking skull emoji. Sorry, I didn't think this would be such a hot topic. It won't happen again. So, clearly, nobody knows how to take a fucking joke or can understand the fact that people have friends on the internet and people leave funny comments to their friends on the internet. I really appreciated the person calling me an off-brand Omegle streamer. One, I don't understand what that means. I might be unk and chopped. The joke is that we jokingly tell each other jokes in a joking way. Like as a joke? Like as a fucking joke! God forbid, and if you look at Maze's account or mine, we're both on each other's pages. You can see that we are friends and we joke with each other. I will never make a funny fucking comment on my friend's posts ever again. Call an ambulance. Some fucking shots are being fired. Pretty sure Maze would come for your skull if you were actually serious. I know! But we're friends and we make jokes with each other. Which, I know it's like, I'm getting angry about people on the internet, but like, you guys are like, well, I know what Omegle is, but like, what, Omegle streamer? Like, what? Ben Sellers is an omelet streamer? What the fuck are you even saying? I'm not a meanie! I'm not a meanie! Some people have a hard time reading the vibe, which I understand. But like, if you're gonna leave a hateful comment about somebody and like make presumptions about them, like look at my page for 1 second. If you look at my Instagram page, like the past 3 posts are of me and Maisie. I'm just saying. There is almost more Maisie on my page than me. All right? I don't know how they got that from me. Hang on 1 sec. I actually just got a DM about it. Anyways, no way staged. It's not staged. It's not staged. Hey, Logan. Yeah. That happened. Another thing happened. I'm gonna let's yeah, maybe they're a fan. Maybe they're, because like my public lobby streams are like Omegle. You know what I mean? Yeah, my public lobby streams are kind of like Omegle. It's probably the closest you can get to an Omegle stream on Twitch is my public lobbies. Interesting. Hold that thought. Let me, so like a year ago, I got my first ever affiliate code for a brand. This was before even Advanced GG, which shout out Advanced GG. Cam code 10 at checkout if you want that. Advanced GG makes good stuff, very flavorful, nice things. Anyways, before them even, hey Simon, I was hit up by the brand Schmackin' Sunflower Seeds, and I was like, and they said they would send me a free thing, like a free box of their shit to like check it out and see if I liked it. I was like, okay, fine. I am a free box of shit, and you know, I never told any of you guys about it. But if you ever want to buy sunflower seeds, I feel obliged now at this point to have you guys click on this code. They gave me a very nice link. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. You know, sorry Smackin', I never posted this link until now. But here you go. I was just reminded of that recently for no reason in particular. But if you guys, you know, are into that stuff, or you could just give me $80 instead of buying $80 of seeds, you could just give me $80. But you know, there's a discount code if you ever are into that sort of thing. It's literally just Cam. If you just type in Cam at checkout, if you type Cam at checkout, I will get a percentage of that sale. Okay, 20%, in fact. So enjoy. That's that. Oh, speaking of fucking ads, Minecraft and motherfucking Twitch put out another sponsorship today. Minecraft and Twitch are notorious for having the highest paid. Minecraft is notorious for having the highest paid sponsorships that you can get through Twitch. Okay, and so everyone kind of caught on to that, and they take it immediately. Okay. Did you take it? No, I got there 4 minutes after the fucking shit got posted, after it got sent out, and all the slots were already gone. They're limited slots, okay? There is a reason not to be up on my high horse. There is a reason Twitch is implementing a program in which partners will get first dibs on sponsorships. Because there is no reason, sorry, that a brand should be throwing away all of their money on sponsorship slots to people with one viewer. Not there's anything wrong with having one viewer, but the companies are not getting the bang for their buck by having all of this fucking shit go out at once. Okay? Sorry if that sounds elitist. But Twitch is implementing that for a reason. I have one viewer, and it's Simon. God bless you and Simon. Listen, every single one individual viewer is very important. But my point is Twitch is already having a fucking problem getting any of their big streamers to accept these deals to begin with. And so when anything that's actually good or worth a partner's time is being thrown away is absurd. Also, if you guys are streaming to one viewer and you're in my chat, post your fucking live stream link in the Discord, okay? Our community is very supportive and we love each other. And we would never let anyone sit there with one viewer, okay? Someone out there is always looking for someone to watch, someone to put in the background, someone to giggle and laugh at, all right? And if you are streaming and you're in my chat, if you are a streamer and in my chat, do that and get a nice microphone. I think we have 0 bandwidth. I haven't seen your link in the Discord, have I? I love background stream during the day. That's what I'm saying. I do every time, and I promise if I don't, people yell at me. That's true, Simon, because I see other people do it for you on your behalf. Zach said I have a bad microphone. I don't doubt it. You probably do. Actually, your microphone sounded fine. Wait, have I heard your microphone? I might be thinking about something else. I don't know. Let Miss World live. Sorry. What else do we got? I tried to sell you guys something that I don't even buy. I've told you guys about trying to sell you something, and it's not there, and that's true, Miss World. I couldn't watch it because I was in the middle of playing it myself. I remember. I played that game Mecha Chameleon yesterday. Anyone seen that game where you paint yourself onto a wall? That was pretty gas. It was like Prop Hunt, but you paint yourself. Heard about it? It's a good time, actually. I've not. So imagine Prop Hunt, but instead of turning yourself into props, you paint yourself like the stuff you're hiding on. Zach convinced me to get it. Dude, it's so much fun. I had some fun times playing it with Bree and Luce and a few of my other friends last night. Here you can see a beautiful play I did against Bree, where I painted myself against this green door, and Bree was none the wiser. There I am. You can't see me on this door, but I'm there. Okay. Bree, of course, blind as a bat, did not see me. Here's me, camouflaged very well. Here's Zach being mogged right now, paint mogged, actually. I'm right here. Bro's staring at the ceiling. It's very fun, very fun. Here is... I painted myself like a road sign on the ground in the back rooms. That didn't go well. But yeah, one person goes searching and everyone else hides. And when you get found, you get turned into a hunter. It's a good time. Very simple. Very fun. And, yeah, it looks like Maisie just bought it. Looks like everybody's buying it. Looks like everybody's got it. Yeah, very nice spin on the prop hunt stuff. Can you do more? Oh yeah, I don't know how many players you can do, but we had a lot of players. Maisie's playing it today with GPTV. Nice. Nice. Oh, I actually just launched the game on accident. Don't launch Mecha Chameleon, please. I will say the game is like UE. It kind of gives UE5 slop because the whole game looks like there's Vaseline all over your screen. But it's actually very fun and actually runs pretty good. I'm excited for your friend was saying about all day yesterday. I'm excited for it too. Also, what up, Arby's? Friends of host connection like 513 stable up to 25 is unstable. Yeah. Oh, you know what else I played as well is Gamble with Your Friends. That was fun. That was a good time. It's pretty much just Lethal Company, but with gambling. And you know a game's gonna be good when you describe it as, it's like Lethal Company, but it's its own fucking genre. Hello, Noah. Anyways, friend slop aside. I hate calling things slop, it's so fucking lame. Oh, that's just friend slop. That's friend slop. God forbid anybody have fucking fun. Alright, Jesus Christmas. I need you in my mouth. What, Arby's? Tried the Pilgrim game? It's like Lethal Medieval? No, I haven't. Played a bit of ML, and they yelled at me because I kept sending us into the red. Oh, the gambling game? Oh, I played a bit of it with ML. Okay, I was like, what the fuck? I will say I performed the worst on the gambling game. Fank, don't worry. We won't be using that very much. But you know, thanks for adding it nonetheless. I'll actually, Fank, I'm gonna DM you this actually. It's very interesting. It's very, very interesting. Oh, you know? You know? I know, like a year ago? Oh, okay. All right. All right, let's start the game. All right, it's time. Wow. Thanks, like, yeah, exclamation point smack. Yeah, you keep doing it, guys. Keep doing it. The sound of my childhood right here. Honestly, the most I played on the PlayStation 2 was probably Tony Hawk's American Wasteland and the Jack series. Jack was gas, but I never really played the PlayStation 2 much besides that. I'm gonna turn that the fuck down. I have Shadow the Hedgehog on my GameCube. Force Unleashed was on the PS1. I had Force Unleashed on my 360. Shadow the Hedgehog pissed on my wife. What?
I wonder how long it's
I
been.
wonder how long
since
it's
my brother
been.
and
Shut up. Okay. Hey, Venom. I did Google why this is based on true story because the creator had a lot of... Yeah, so we researched it a little bit yesterday, too. It seemed like a bunch of horse ass. Like, I made it up, and I'm a real person, so therefore it's a real story. Force Unleashed 1 is pretty different on PS2. Really? I didn't even know it came out on PS2. I'll keep it a buck. I loved that game. It was great. Fella's sleeping on my gamer chair. Had a better structure and level design. Really? What the fuck? So it's really different then. All right. Last we left off, there was another talisman that we took a picture of, and it showed those lights that were out by the docks. At least that's what I think I remember. When's the last time we played this? 2 days ago? 1 day ago? I didn't stream yesterday, did I? I think I did. I streamed. No, I didn't stream yesterday. No, I did not. Yesterday was not a great day. I've come to make an announcement. Shadow the Hedgehog's bitch ass motherfucker. He pissed on my fucking wife. That's right. He took his hedgehog fucking quilly dick out and he pissed on my fucking wife. And he said his dick was this big. And I said, that's disgusting. So I'm making a call out post on my twitter.com. Is this the video?
I've come to make an announcement.
announcement. Shadow the Hedgehog's a bitch-ass motherfucker. He pissed on my fucking wife. That's right. He took his hedgehog fucking quilly dick out and he pissed on my fucking wife and he said his dick was this big. And I said that's disgusting. So I'm making a call-out post on my Twitter.com. Shadow the Hedgehog, you got a small dick. It's the size of this walnut except way smaller. And guess what? Here's what my dong looks like. That's right, baby. All points, no quills, no pillows. Look at that, it looks like 2 balls in a bong. He fucked my wife, so guess what? I'm gonna fuck yours. That's right, this is what you get. My super laser piss. Except I'm not gonna piss on the earth. I'm gonna go higher. I'm pissing on the moon. How do you like that?
What the fuck was that? What the fuck? Why have I, first of all, never seen that before? And why does that video only have 79,000 views? Can we bring that up a couple at least? 2 balls and a bong. That sounds like, honestly, a rant I would go on while crashing out playing Phasmophobia. Science Adventure 2 fan dub or group of friends dub over the cutscenes live. That's what I assumed it was, some sort of funny dub video. Did I just run the same way? No. I've come to make an announcement. Help me. Oh God, there's some bad tinnitus happening here. Nanashi!
NanashaGirl01 subscribed to your channel for 17 months.
I'm actually very much enjoying this game, Nanashi. It's awesome. I've never played it before. Never really heard anything about it. And I've been playing it for a few days now, and I fucking love it. Want a Shadow the Hedgehog port for modern consoles? That's not gonna happen. I don't even think that game did well to begin with. Have we been in this room before? Forgive me. Oh yeah, we have. Okay, that's the door I opened with the talisman. But this is where that dock is, right? That has the cool lanterns. Nope, I'm stupid as fuck. Hello. I have 3 of them. Wait, there's 5 of these games? Also, might I add, first of all, hey Zox, I felt really stupid yesterday when I clicked on Silent Hill F in my game library, and I saw that there was a combo, like a Steam bundle, where you could buy both Fatal Frame 2 Remake and Silent Hill F. Because I've been sitting here being like, this game is so much like Silent Hill F. This game is so much like Silent Hill F. And then they're out here fucking selling bundles of Fatal Frame and Silent Hill F. It's almost like Silent Hill F is like obviously directly inspired by Fatal Frame. That's why they're selling it as a bundle. Anyways, I also made me feel smart and vindicated for thinking that. Okay? Yeah, thank you, Bandwidth. I didn't know there was a few Fatal Frame games. Well, this is the first one. Okay? 4 came out on the Wii U and 5 was on the PS4 and Switch. Oh, shit. The more you know. Hydration time? Fuck. I only have my water bottle down here. Fucking, you can't get fucking... You gotta fucking give me a minute, dude. Or else, I'm gonna get lost, okay? I'm gonna get lost. The PS5 has a few remasters. Really? Also, hello, Rat Factory. We're fatooling our frames. Help me. Decent graphics, not gonna lie. Yeah, I think it's the same sort of thing as like that Silent Hill had, where it's just like they know the limitations of the console, and so they just play to the limitations instead of trying to like overdo it. I got paid to clean my house today? Fuck yeah! That's what I'm talking about. I got paid to do some silly things today. Now I get to sit back and play video games. How do I get paid to clean my house? How do I get paid to play video games? Think about that. Ponder on that. I'm gonna have to like go back to where I was and just like completely retrace my steps, because I could have sworn we took a picture of something by that thing before. There you go, Rat Factory. That's how you do it. That's how you fucking do it. Whoa, 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 whoa! Oh shit, he jumped! Ah! Oh my god! That was horrendous. Get this fucker out of my face. What, bro? Oh my fucking god, I'm getting sucked right now. Jesus Christmas. You know, I could have just ran away from you. You're welcome, I'm doing this. Bro, the fucking tinnitus shit is crazy. He's not dead yet? I thought he was dead! Momo, please chill. Please chill, Momo. Please chill. Yeah, you're dead now, buddy. Ah. Ah. Funny story time, my friends and I were playing Fatal Frame in my old apartment on a stormy night. We got jump scared so badly we screamed really loudly. After the stream, we went silent. There was a knock on the door. My neighbor would come over to make sure we were okay. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. What a W neighbor though, to be honest. No one ever asked me if I'm okay. My window's open right now. Okay, and I could be screaming bloody murder and they just be like, eh. That shit happens all the time in my house, actually. It scares me, especially if like, cause like Bree and I play games similarly where like we will scream at the top of our fucking lungs. And so like hearing like a womanly scream, like bloody fucking murder, and no one ever says anything is like terrifying. Yeah, you guys have heard Bree on stream before. I'm like, god damn. A LAN party. I got cops going through playing CSGO. Oh my god. LAN party CS sounds fucking crazy. We all screamed at the same. Was it this game? Was it this Fatal Frame? The girl who has been found after 3 days of mysterious disappearance has been adopted. Mr. Hinasaki, a close friend of Mr. Ryozu Munakata, also missing, will adopt the girl. The girl's parents were missing even after she returned. The police was the fucking broken ass translations. Call glitch on bingo. This is gonna be like the one and only game we play where glitch comes up this much because we're counting bad translations as glitches.
Devin Air subscribed to your channel for 13 months.
Devin, thank you for the 13 months. I appreciate it. Also, what a fun little sleepover to do where y'all sit around and play Fatal Frame. Yeah, not over here. The girl's parents were missing even after she returned, so the police was looking for a foster home or adoptive family. The girl does not remember anything from her disappearance, and the 3 other children are still missing. Fank is still pushing the link. Fank, I promise, you don't have to. It's okay. Fank is like... You You know, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's all right. I just wanted to see the URL. Yeah, it's a crazy URL, isn't it? I got real lucky with my coupon code. There's a small door here, but it's nailed shut. I can't open it. I'm a medium streamer. There's a small door here, but it's nailed shut. I can't open it. Okay. Back with my Chinese food, I didn't miss any calls. I called Glitch a second ago because there was a mistranslation there. I think it was 2. Man, this is a whole other fucking series I gotta play 2. I'm literally still in the middle of playing Resident Evil, which is another whole fucking thing to finish. And I want to play more Fatal Frames. I want to play more Silent Hills. I want to play Alien Isolation. I was actually thinking about playing Alien Isolation today, just to play like a modern horror game. But then I was like, no. We need to finish a game. Drive safe, Devin. Research scrap. The legend of the Holy Mirrors, the mirrors of the 5 gods. The holy mirrors held in 5 shrines in this region are most commonly known as the mirrors of the 5 gods. The legend tells that the 5 gods, before leaving this land, created these mirrors as a means of protecting the village. Some legends mention another mirror. The story is that all 5 mirrors were used together in a ritual to fend off a huge disaster. Whether this was the calamity or not is not known. It is not known whether the ritual mentioned above is related in any way to the one performed by the Himaru family, but there is the correlation of the mirrors. However, the actual existence of the legendary holy mirror, one complete mirror, has not been confirmed, and it is not known what the legend is based on. Dorito Loco Taco, check Luigi next. Yeah, Luigi is next. Luigi is next. You should for real switch to RE3 Remake, though. You'll get a hang of the new engine gameplay and the story quicker. Yeah, that's probably a good call. I kind of want to. Okay, I checked up that hallway. I think that's all that's in that hallway, right? Let me check the Miz app. Oh, that's the analog button. Wait, wasn't that door up there like too small to go through or some shit? Oh, it's locked. Okay. 42. Thanks for the 120 stream streak. The fact that anyone has that big of a stream in my fucking chat is just. What the fuck is that shit? What the fuck is this shit? Hello. Hey, chill the fuck out. Whoa, this is a different kind of ghost. Motherfucker didn't try and suck me. Got him, 110 damage. Come at me again, boom! God damn, bro. Where'd she go? Ah! You're dead. 90 damage. Dude, doing anything in this game is a fucking jump scare. Jesus Christ. Alright, suck her up. Can I upgrade my shit now? Probably, right? Camera. Bonus function. Special function. Oh yeah, wait, there's like... Oh my god, I can get a bonus function? What's a special function? Hey, Spartan. Anyways, that's what happens when you press something you don't have an option for. Oh, there's different kinds of film. It's like ammo. Old film does not possess high exorcismal power. High-speed film possesses high exorcismal power. Regular film possesses higher exorcismal power. Doing fantastic. Doing fantastic. Range? I feel like we gotta up the range. We definitely gotta up the fucking range. Damn, that shit costs a lot. I'm upgrading the range even more. Fuck it. Fuck it. We need range. All right, that's so cool. You get to upgrade your stuff, dude. It's so in depth. Oh wait, that's where we came from, isn't it? We went upstairs. Now we can go. Yeah, over here. Yeah, just up those stairs is a place I hadn't been before. I thinks. Methinks. Wasn't there a ghost in here? Sonic pissed on my fucking wife, and now I'm gonna piss on the fucking earth. You can play RE4 original or remake and get basically the exact story. Oh, really? Well then, like, I don't know. I feel like, cause like RE4 also like is like almost a modern game. So like you may as well just play the remake of it. What in the pinned message? Don't even worry about it, Gudik, okay? Miss World said that that message is gonna stay pinned until someone gives me 5,000 gift subs. So it really just felt like a threat on my life. It looks like an old well. There's a lid on it. I can't see inside. What? For the 4 remake, but there's also nothing bad I can make about the other version. Oh, I can name names. The fuck was that? What is this symbol that appears in the bottom right of my screen that looks like a little fucking VCR? Oh shit. Ah! What the fuck? You dirty bitch! Jesus Christmas! Ah! Ah! Jesus Christ, man! Dude! Oh, I'm gonna die. 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 I don't wanna 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 die. Dude, this bitch is strong. Why is she so strong? Oh, my new range is crazy, chat. My new range is crazy. You're done. 140 damage. Yeah, get your bozo ass out of here. Damn. Motherfucker's got health. This feels like the fucking Resident Evil mansion, where like it just keeps fucking going. That's what this feels like. What? The monkeys? I feel like we've been here before, haven't we? Yeah, this is where we last turned around. Okay. We've made it back to where I was. The mirror family crest. Why is a fine hole? We need one more stone. Okay. Okay. Yeah, had these fuck ass invisible walls. Like that's the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen. Alright, we've now officially made 0 progress from where we last were. Can I like go off into these woods at all? Like why does this shit blink blue? Like what does that mean? And my controller's vibrating too. It means we need more blue Gatorade. Okay, can we ban this person? That's the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard in my life. We need more blue Gatorade. Okay. It's gotta mean something, right? Do I need to check the fucking manual again? Because there's a few places where, like, there's weird sounds happening. And, the light blue zero Gatorade. Okay, Gatorade zero sucks dicks. Berry Gator Light. Is that the electrolyte one? I've never willingly drank Gatorade, but TBH. Yeah, I've never really gone out of my way to purchase it, you know? I like, vitamin water. I like, that XXX vitamin water. That shit's gas. The threesome. Is there Pedialyte? Why? Okay, I don't feel like people shouldn't be drinking Pedialyte just for fun, you know? Like, you can, like, overhydrate yourself, right? Triple X is tasty on a hot day. I'm saying. That shit's gas. I was being so kind and you hit me with that. I'm so sorry, Miss World. I'm so sorry. The only time I regularly drank Gatorade was during lunch during high school. I think Michelle Obama didn't allow there to be Gatorade in my high school. Oh my gosh, wait, they have whole biographies in this book. I didn't know there were entire biographies and like renderings of all the characters. Thanks, Obama. I usually drink it when I have a migraine from dehydration. Oh, okay, that makes sense. What does this symbol mean? I was in high school, took our vending machines. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I was in middle school and Michelle hit us with the lunch bomb. Let me, why is my phone recycling me a bunch of old notifications? I'm gonna Google this shit. Give me a sec. Fatal frame blue tape symbol. Does the blue tape symbol mean? Presence of items or non-hostile spirits. Oh. Blue glow means a benign ghost is nearby. A clue is hidden or you can take a psychic photograph. The opposite of the red glow, which warns you of an attacking or hostile ghost. Narrative item. Okay. It just means that there's something there generally. That's such an L allergy, Rat Factory. I'm gonna be so for real. Oh, wait. Hang on. Was there just a little circle? Oh. 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 Hang on. Do it again. Do it again. Is there something there I just can't see? Oh. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, wait. Is there like... Is it being wavy back there? I think it's being wavy back there. God damn it! Ah! Your mom asked me to go to dinner with her? Dude. Take me out to dinner, baby. What do you want to say to Joe Byron? Take me out to dinner, baby. Dude, you know, do whatever you want, dude. Sounds like free dinner. What's going on? Dude, it's wanting me to take a picture or something. Holy shit. Okay, it's not blinking blue anymore. Maybe I gotta. Oh, hey, hey. The warped man. Okay. Okay, I got a picture of the warped man. Now what? Why is Cameron always stream when I order sesame chicken? Because I'm allergic and you want to kill me live through the fucking screen? Through the TV screen? Okay, well now that I know that that sound means that there's a freaky ghost nearby, we're gonna have to go backtrack quite a bit. That's an L allergy? Bruh. It is an L allergy because they put that shit on literally on things where there's no fucking business. Like, why? Like, why? You guys don't gotta send me food, for the love of God. I would rather gift subs or something else than a treat stream at the moment. I'm fat. Sesame's, I know, and they just started putting it in fucking bread for no reason. Literally inside of bread. Doesn't even have to be a sesame bun. They just put it in bread. They just put it in bread. I can't have fucking everything bagels, but like, I'm not even talking about like sesame seeds on top of bread. I'm talking about they just fucking mix that shit in. Ugh. You just put it in it. Any standard store brand bread nowadays, they put sesame in it. Like, I can't have store brand, like, I can't have Kroger bread. I can't have like Walmart bread. I can't have like pretty much any hot dog bun. Like pretty much any burger bun. Now it like since 2022, I haven't been able to eat any of that unless I know what the manufacturer of the bun. Not even the fancy ones. I have to get like bakery stuff now, which is fine. You know, I should be eating fresher breads anyways, but like I can tell you I know exactly what it is. Greed and the FTC made sesame one of the top allergens, and so instead of making shit more accessible but also having to clean their equipment better, they're just like, no, just put it in there because we're not going to clean our shit. Yeah, the NFTs, yes, that's what I said. It's the NFTs, Noah. They're taking my whimsy. But next time you go buy like a basic ass bread loaf or buns or something, check it, and I guarantee it'll have sesame. Oh. Oh, hostile ghost. Hostile ghost. Get away from me, bitch. Okay, now that I know that the red tape means bad ghost and blue means good ghost. Hank is in the sourdough arc like Taylor. You guys talking about pop stars reminds me of that conversation around Ariana Grande right now. I heard JoJo talking about it. I haven't really heard much about it, but share your thoughts and opinions below on what you think is happening to Ariana Grande. I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. I have not educated myself on the topic, mainly because I couldn't give a fuck. But also, I'm just not on that side of the internet. From Victorious, yeah, from Victorious and Salmon Cat. The floor at the phone. Okay. Yep, exactly, Devin. And they screwed over everyone in the process. My bread says made in a factory with sesame. The fuck, Sara Lee, not just a basic brand. Yeah. I mean, a lot of times it'll say it's made in the place with sesame, but it'll also have sesame specifically in the ingredients. Like, made in a facility with sesame is one thing, but then if it's like I'm telling you, they actively put it in there. Hey, Jose. Another celebrity I stay up to date with is Cameron is different. Okay, buddy. Thank you. Wasn't there a fucking crazy ass ghost in here? Is that an item? No. Khalees bread is safe. I have like a local brand of bread that's like only in Ohio that I be getting when I do buy bread. I don't buy bread that much because I'm not much of a bread guy, honestly. If I could like just eat the insides of a sandwich, I would. Even like tortillas, man. Like get it out of my face. Like unless it's a quesadilla, I don't really like. I don't want a fucking burrito. Just give me the burrito bowl. I read Allison Stone's memoir earlier this year when she talked about her AD, and it's rough. Ari won't get any help until she's ready, and damage will be done before then. Oh, for Ariana? Yeah. It's a tough situation to be that fucking in the shit, but also very, very famous. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea, Azzy. Oh. Did I share an EVP? No, that's not an EVP with her ears. It's called a disembodied voice. If you left me alone in the room with a fresh sourdough, I'm gonna eat. So, like, I actually fuck with bread hella. Like, I know how I just said I don't fuck with bread, but I'm talking like sliced bread and shit. But like a baguette, I often get just baguettes from the grocery store, and like that's my snack that I buy. You know, not like chips or anything. I'll buy a baguette. I fuck with that. But like a normal ass like sandwich, garlic urban cheese bread, that's gas. Like the rosemary parmesan bread at fucking Jersey Mike's is good, you know? It's really just fancy breads that I will enjoy a lot. But man, tortilla is just a means to the end, you know? I'd rather just eat that shit. Who's up fataling their frame? What's my favorite crust type? Also, hey Devin. My favorite crust type? I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, oh, like crust on a pizza? Crust on a pizza? I like thick crust. Well, honestly, like thin crust pizza is a waste of my fucking time. I'm gonna be so bad ghost, bad ghost, bad ghost, bad ghost. Ah! Woo! And if you pull up, yes! I'm out of ammo, I'm out of ammo, I'm out of ammo, I'm out of ammo. Stop, you motherfucker! Ah! Oh, chat, we're fucking cooked. I'm like out of herbs and shit. If you pull up to my shit, right, with a thin, like, I'm like New York style's fine. It's like thin on the bottom, but then it's still got a crust around the rim. Crust around the rim, drink it anyway. Sorry, if you know ball, you know ball. All right. Anyways, like that's chill, right? But I like when it's Detroit style. The fuck is Detroit style, Christian? I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't remember. Some psychos like to toss the crust. Bro, I eat the crust. I am the crust. I want my crust to be like a little breadstick, exactly. I'm out of ammo in my camera. It's like a rectangle, but does it still have... Oh! I know what Detroit style is. That's like, I forget. Detroit style's pretty good. It's thicker. It's thicker. Chicago pizza's revolting. That's the damn truth. And if you're from Chicago and you like that shit, you're literally coping. You are unfortunately a part of a fucking psyop and you're coping. How do I load my ammo? Camera. Loaded film. Type 37. All right, we're locked in. Me when I lie? Bro, I'm not fucking lying. Stop! Stop! Ah! Oh, she's dead to me. You're dead to me. We're good. I'm rage baiting about the bulls part. Listen, rage baiting is fun, but when you've unintentionally rage baited someone is when it becomes uncomfortable. And now I'm back in my conversation. I'm back to my conversation about my comment on Maisie's post, okay? If you're mad about that comment about me making a joke with my fucking friends, like, and me telling Maisie to get a job through a very funny comment, you need to increase your fucking media literacy, okay? What friend doesn't make funny jokes to their friends, you know? Being like, ha ha ha, you're so dumb, XYZ, ha. Like, listen, me and my friends, we call each other fucking hairy ass ugly gorillas, okay? So when you pull up on my block telling me that I'm a terror, that I'm a piece of shit for something I like, whatever, man. My bestie calls me a hoppy bitch. Exactly. Hey, Arlie. I'm a hairy guy.
Area subscribed to your channel for 19 months.
Thank you for the 19 months. Exactly, Rat Factory. Exactly. But I didn't want to just like keep replying to people like, they are my friend, they are my friend, they are my friend. And it's just, it's a waste of my time. But like, some people just really are insufferable on the internet. I'll be dunking on Camp Performance. Okay, Devin. Okay, buddy. Okay. Return to monkey. That's the shit my friends tell me. That's it. When I will show my face in a fucking Discord call, and literally Kylie will just be like, "Look at this fucking gorilla." Like, or like, I can smell you from across the fucking from like through the Discord call, like that shit. You know? Exactly. Everyone does it, Arlie. But the problem is that the people in the Instagram comments didn't know that that was a joke to my friend. And so they instead got very, very, very upset about it. Literally call my friend Elizabeth Mark from finance. What the fuck does that even mean? What does that even mean, Rat Factory? Why are there all of a sudden so many bad ghosts around? I'm fucking sick of this, man. I'm so lost. We're lost, man. No, they're not even defending her. They're not even defending her. They're just being mean to me. Like... Used to call me corporate in high school because I was bossy. Honestly, that sounds about fucking right in this world. That sounds like you've got the right profile to be a Twitch mod. Instagram chatters have achieved monkey. Literally, they have achieved monkey. The most monkey achievement award. Monkey of the year achievement. What, Miss World? It was a compliment. You have a good personality for it. Corporate. No, don't riot. Okay. I just, you know, if someone says something in chat, we're like, yeah, you're gonna take that up with corporate. I'm saving my friend's phone as Financial Danny. It's a typo for daddy because I am the go-to spending advisor. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Destiny 2 Crucible. That sounds like some horse shit. Destiny 2 is a dead game. Fun fact. The newly announced Cameron is different HR. That is true. There is a Cameron is different HR department. That is why Fank got paid today in a $10 Taco Bell gift card. I know it's honestly quite a privilege to start paying my employees I'll have to kill this motherfucker. You're done. Is it gonna come through the wall? It's coming through the fucking wall! Stop. Do I just get revived when I die? Like, what's happening? I thought that was my health. Ah! Scavenger! Sorry, I'm getting sucked. I'm just getting sucked the fuck off right now. Welcome in, Raiders. Hope you're enjoying the immediate jump scare into here. Oh yeah, I hope you had a fun. Jesus fucking Christmas. Stop! Stop. Holy shit, I'm getting mogged right now. I'm getting fucking mogged. Anyways, hi Raider Scavenger, hope you had a fun stream. Welcome. We're playing Fatal Frame, where we're mainly doing the fatal part instead of the framing part because I suck ass. You left the code for the gift card visible in the screenshot? Guys, I left the code visible for the card in the screenshot because, okay, first of all, funny as fuck that any of you guys would have possibly tried to use that gift card code before Fank after I told you that the Taco Bell gift card was for Fank. You tried to steal the gift card from Fank. That's Fank's first ever payment, and if you stole it from Fank, I would have a word with you. Okay, second of all, I'm not stupid. I made sure Fank redeemed it before I posted it. Fatal Frame is my favorite series. I'm liking it. I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time playing it. I just suck at it. Hey, listen. Oh, I'm listening. I'm listening, you thief. Thieves in chat trying to steal. And they're self-reporting too. We have Taco Bell gift card thievery in my chat. I would only steal it from Fank to double it. I still got Fatal Frame 2, but it's a good game. This is a good game. I'm just, right now, I'm currently lost as a motherfucker. I didn't try it. Okay, I believe you. You didn't try to do it. I believe you. Don't worry. I don't even eat Taco Bell. I don't really make the choice to eat Taco Bell. Give me an hour, I'll turn that gift card into brown. Bro, did you just brown your pants? I've browned my pants. Sorry, it's stinky. But, I've browned my... Okay, the monkey scares me. The monkey screams at me. And now I have to take a picture of the warped man again, which for whatever reason is the most difficult thing we've done in this game so far. I've made a brown in the toilet. Oopsie. I do. I need an arc to find. I need a finding myself arc. I need a new arc in my life where I find myself. There's supposed to be a ghost here that I'm taking a picture of. Isn't that hilarious? And it's just not there. Beefy 5-layer sounds like how you would describe the massive shit you take after eating it. Oh, what, is he right there? Another fucking raid? God damn! Toady! Hey, Toady. What the fuck? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Okay, I did not mean to take a picture of that. Sorry. An L gamer moment right on the fucking raid. Thank you guys for the raid. Another fucking raid. Hi. Welcome in. Guys, if you are not following Toady, first of all, you need to follow Toady. Toady's awesome. We met Toady a little while back. They're very, very fucking fun streamer. They were playing Poppy Playtime? Yes. We're Poppy Playtime enjoyers here. Unless it's Poppy Playtime 3. Or honestly 5. I hated fucking 5 too. I'm a hater of those. Okay? 4 was all right. It's chapter 3. I high-key hated 3. Raid effects is scarier than the game. All right. Shh. I know. Okay. I know. Everyone's making a lot of noises. Thanks, Scavenger. Took me 4 hours. it took you only 4 hours to beat High Playtime Chapter 3. I think it took me like, probably like 9. And then with the gas was, I had to backtrack to get it. Dude, I got fucking backtracked 100 times in that fucking game. I was so fed up with it. Multiplayer is 7 hours in the last one. Fenka saying fuck 5 times. And fuck. Okay, whatever. Mick is just trying to farm bingo. Yes, it's excessive swearing. Anyways, guys, follow Toady. If you're coming in from Toady's stream, feel free to hang out. We're playing a super scary, spooky retro horror game on my PlayStation 2. Live from my PlayStation 2. Called Fatal Frame, self-described as the scariest game ever. Colin! Thank you for the 5 months. I appreciate
Collins
you.
259 subscribed to your channel for
There
5
was like no
months.
intense action scenes other than the spooky catnip walking. Yeah, okay, first of all, catnip was actually scary. It's a scary villain, I will say. But I just hated some of the gameplay. Nothing made me fucking hurt inside more than 5 though. The most recent one, 5, made me want to fucking perish. Like it hurt me to play that fucking game. And I'm a hater. I'm so fucking harsh about the games I play. All right, I'm a fucking hater of that shit. Dark Pals is way better than Probably Playtime for me. Which one is Dark Pals? You guys remember that like funny retro horror like game that we played that was like a trivia game? It was like a horror 2D trivia game. School scene, doggy shootout, and cat final boss with the highlights. Yes, I would agree. I would agree. I would agree. I would agree. The dog day. What? I don't remember the fuck. Dog Dave. Oh, Omelet Man is Dark Pals? Okay. No, not Trivia Murder Party on Jackbox. If any of you missed the Frito burrito, here's a hack from my boyfriend we talked about 4 years ago. Just order a cheesy bean rice burrito, no jalapeno sauce or beans, and just fill it from Fritos from the store. Okay, it was much of a hack if you still have to like, reconstruct it your fucking self. Think about that. Think about that. It's okay, Toady. Sorry that there were ads in your face. I was more or less just agreeing with what you said. I believe it's factual information. Hey, get the fuck back, you mother... Dude, I remember reading somebody in I think JoJo's chat, like the other day, saying that I can't play Fatal Frame because of their tinnitus. And now I'm understanding. As we've continued in this game, there is such high-pitched ringing in this game all the time. Hack, cook your own food. All right, Devin. All right, Devin. Look at this guy saying just cook your own. That's true, actually. Make your own, dude. Homemade quesadillas are better than any quesadilla you would ever get from any store ever. Fatal Frame 2 has a tinnitus filter, I think. I could honestly probably put a fucking filter, like an audio filter, over my fucking source for this. And, Taco Bell hack, McDonald's is next door. Oh my god, I had a homemade quesadilla last night? Hell yeah. Thank you, Venom, for getting an extra card. God damn, I appreciate it. It's been 100 years since anyone's gotten a new card. I was thinking about actually ending bingo tonight. Forever. I'm just sick of it. I'm not gonna end bingo forever. I'm thinking about ending this week's bingo tournament tonight. This past 3 weeks bingo tournament, anyways. I'm not gonna end bingo forever. Hell no. Bingo's half the reason anyone's ever in here. I have a chicken quesadilla recommendation for anyone that goes to Cabo. The fuck is Cabo? And Fuzzy's shrimp. Okay, first of all, the word fuzzy and the word shrimp should not be in the same sentence together. That's terrifying. Okay, fuzzy shrimp makes me seriously sick to even read. Fuzzy's shrimp. Just think about it out loud. Yeah, whatever, Miss World. You're glazing. That's what the kids call it, by the way, is you're glazing. You're being a glazed bro nut. Fuzzy's is a taco chain? Yeah, that's a bad name. They should have talked to me first. How do I bingo? If someone types an exclamation point bingo, just like that, it'll instruct you how to get to bingo. On PC or mobile. Guys, speaking of Devin and HD, this motherfucker made me voice act for their most recent video on Skyrim. Fun fact, I did some voice acting on Devin's latest YouTube video. Watch it, have a good time. Watch all of it. Watch all of it. Devin will actually cry in bed at night if you don't watch the entirety of that video. It's about a very sad quest in Skyrim that a lot of people might have missed. You be nice to the man, and he shoots you in the face and spits in your cremation urn. Oh, is that how you play? Is that how you play bingo? Is you be nice to me and I spit in your urn? I do like that I can interrupt your stream with these funny little things that cost all these little guys. Yeah, I don't know. It's a fun little thing to use. You earn channel points by watching. You better be in the credits or I'll riot. I honestly don't know. I didn't check. I will happily go uncredited and just live in a world knowing that I was in a Devin NHD video. Yes, I'm left-handed. No, I'm not actually left-handed. Devin is left-handed. Guys, I'm fucking lost. Look at how big this fucking map is. This map is the size of the fucking moon, okay? You rise the size of the moon. I don't know why I all got so passionate. I started sounding like, is that Brendan Urie? Right? 9 in the afternoon. Just go the direction you're supposed to. Okay. Right. Oh wait! I know what to do, Chad. Light bulb moment. Light bulb moment.
My name is Ander Dingus.
I know where to go. Why is this house so fucking big? I don't know. I know where I need to go. I need to go to the door with the hairy lock and burn it, because I got a lighter last time we played. Last time we played, I got a lighter. Each room feels like a 200 square foot apartment. I'm saying! Each room's like its own little fucking thing, man, and there's like 100 of them. This game's scary as fuck. Everything is a jump scare. Everything about the combat is going into first person in this little fucking camera view and getting jump scared. That's the combat. Like it's crazy. And Devin, I'm gonna keep promoting you, by the way. Bro, I just need my homies to be successful. Okay? This mansion has more square footage than Northampton. Bro, what the fuck is Northampton? You guys are just making... I went to the wrong door, didn't I? I fucking did. This doesn't go anywhere. This is a dead fucking end. Okay. Our other friend on YouTube, Koth, he's the #1 slot on Hyped right now, and on YouTube in the United States. Fucking shout out Koth, bro. Koth made another really fun Skyrim video called Skyrim's Economy Makes No Sense, and it is currently #1 in the United States. Bro's on a fucking tear, and also Koth's accent makes him fit into the Skyrim universe like there's no tomorrow. Koth. He is a legend. He also voice acted in that new Devin video. Basically, it's like a whole Avengers style, Avengers level moment in Devin's new YouTube video. It's a random ass place in North Florida on the border of Virginia. Okay, and you expect us to understand your reference to Northampton, Miss World? I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. Carb plus shrine. Negative hole in the floor. 2,400 a month, but it's about the location, okay? We're a 2-minute walk from a Whole Foods, okay? The random Whole Foods in the middle of the fucking mountains. Is this the right way? This is. I don't think Florida's close to Virginia, bro. I don't. You guys are trolling me. North Carolina. There you go. There you go. You're right. Florida is not close to Virginia. All right. I'm now back in the Grand Hall. Northampton. Didn't I get a lighter, guys? Yeah, lighter. I thought this was the solution. I thought this was the solution to the puzzle. I thought this was a... You cannot... Hang on. Hair is wrapped around the handle. It won't move. And the lighter that I got isn't the solution to this puzzle. Holy shit balls. Your eyes are the size of the moon. Mansion second floor. The second floor of the mansion. I know, the most you're in a video game ass obstacle. Right, the hair of binding. As if there's not 1,000,001 fucking ways I could just simply remove the hair from the door. Like my fucking lighter. Jesus. But also, like, the shrine that's up here has 2 walkways around it that are just invisible fucking walls. What? Can I backseat? Please. Go right ahead. If you have a hint, I'll take it. People aware of, like, how weak hair can be? I'm saying, try taking a picture of the door. If this is the solution, I will piss my pants. No, we're good. We're good. Usually if I can take a picture of something, it'll like have a... No, nothing. Now I just have 2 pictures of a door. Stop taking pictures! Now I just have 3 pictures of fucking nothing. Anyways. Your eyes are the size of the moon. Gonna be good, gonna be do. Feeling so good, just the way I just do. This is a true story, by the way. This is a true story, by the way. Just in case you forgot, this game's based on a true story. And it's a true story because I'm a real person. And I made it up. This door is stuck fast, as opposed to all the doors that are stuck slowly. I hear bongos. Hey, step back. Step back. Step back. Stand back. Stand back. You get infinite photos? No, you find film reels like ammo. And the damn you mother damn! Stop! I have like the draw speed of the fucking MG42 in fucking World at War. I need sleight of hand on this bitch. Jesus Christmas. It's like fucking... Hang on, there's a ghost in my face. There's no urgency. Especially how this fucking character runs, too. Fucking crazy. Like, I don't know how to use my legs. That's an empty-ass closet. You played the Supermassive games? Wait, what are Supermassive? That camera's heavy IRL? Oh, yeah, it probably is, actually. You're probably right. You're probably right. Oh, here's a balcony that I went in 100 years ago. I can't go anywhere from here. So I'm on the 2nd floor right now. I'm on the 2nd floor right now. And, quite frankly, I don't know what to do. Maybe we try going through some of these doors on the 2nd floor. Now that I have a lighter, wait, What can I do with the lighter? Wait a second. My vertical setup is low-key Nintendo DS coded. Shout out. Honestly. I like vertical streams. I think they look nice. Hear me out. Hear me out. All those rooms with those fucking candles. What if I use my lighter to light the candles on those weird ass altars? Think about that. Think about that. Think about that. Think about that. Until Dawn, House of Ashes, Little Hope, and The Quarry. No, but I've heard of them. I've heard of those. I've heard of Until Dawn recently. I don't know where, but I've heard of them. I never played them though, and I never really heard anything about them, which is honestly how I like my games. I like the genre. I like the idea of the genre, and I don't know anything about the game. That's how I know I'm gonna go into a game and fucking love it, because I hate when shit's spoiled for me. It's Zelda coded? Oh, hell yeah. House of Ashes is pretty good. And it's co-op? That's gas. Okay. What's through this door? Is that even, I can't tell what the fuck is a door and what isn't, because I guess I'm just not culturally aware of what doors look like in Japan. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not familiar with Japanese doors. This is a closet. Played any of the Telltale games? I have not. Like, The Wolf Among Us and the Walking Dead games. I've never played in them. Go to Game for Us, Twin. House of Ashes? I'm fucking down. I've literally never heard of it in my life. I'm keeping $1.50. I did play Chapter 3 with Japanese audio. You fucking would, Toady. That's also sick. I bet it sounded like an anime. Sorry, an anime. Hey! Hey, you bitch! It did. Get me the fuck away from this motherfucker. Stop! Why am I getting sucked? I'm trying to walk through a door. Can it follow me between rooms? It can follow me between rooms. That's not fucking cool. I thought I could run away from enemies. Ah! Oh, that's scary. Ah! Stop. Am I gonna get revived? Wait, do I just have extra lives, like, per... It can suck. It's just a floating head, and it can suck. I should call her. Oh, you get a friend pass for it? That's actually fucking gas, Devin. I didn't know that. I do have fucking trust issues. Sinister mommy Japanese voice actor. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. What is my purpose? We ask ourselves that every day. What is my purpose? Didn't I just come through that door? I did. We got a bunch of bingo calls, by the way. Just in case you're wondering and you guys haven't checked your bingo cards recently. I'm like back in the fucking beninging of this shit now. I'm like back in the beninging of this fucking game in the fucking fireplace room. I need to go back downstairs. That was through that door, I think. I just think I went the wrong fucking way. We need one more winner on bingo. You guys check your cards. One more winner. Sing? I swear I have sang a song. I did sing a song. Didn't I turn on auto-tune earlier? I did. No, I didn't even turn on auto-tune. I did, however, sing Brendan Urie. Whatever the fuck that song was that I sang. The Brendan Urie song. Which one did I sing? I sang one of them. It's 9 in the afternoon. Your eyes are the size of the moon. Yeah. Feeling so good, just the way that you do when it's 9 in the afternoon. All right, so let's go find those rooms with the funky altars. Bad news, it's 9 in the evening. Yeah, what does it mean 9 in the afternoon? Can we talk about that? Because 9 o'clock is not the afternoon. Can I light these candles? Chat, let me light these candles. Let me light these candles, please. 9 is an evening time. 9 is not an afternoon time. Lighter. 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 Oh shit, my camera upgrades did not save. Range. Up my range. Up my range again! Yeah. Yeah, up my range. I got no snare in my headphones. Where's my snare? Lizard. 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 Where's my snare? The band was doing LSD in a cabin in the Nevada mountains while working on the second record. And they had no windows in their studio. And so when someone asked what time it was, someone said 9 in the afternoon. And they just started writing. Oh. Well, don't you know the fucking lore, huh? That's crazy. So that's why they were just hilariously wrong. That's so silly. I remember for a lot of these games, I used the camera to solve a ton of puzzles. Otherwise, it's been 20 years since I played. Well, I've been using the camera, but like, shit, man. It sounds like a fake ass documentary voiceover. We made it up. The urge to just Google answers is crazy, but listen, people solved this game 20 years ago. No, Google, why? I said Google and my phone fucking goes off. You motherfucker. You motherfucker! Shut up. Shut up. Guys, shout out Smosh. Shout out Smosh for inventing the word shut up. Shut up! Hey, shout out Smoshers out there. Google, show me the answers. Okay, this is where okay, I don't need to be in here. When I say okay, good does that to me? Yeah. I will be talking random shit in my car. It has nothing to fucking do with the words Toyota, okay? And my car will be like, oh, you said hey Toyota, didn't you? No, motherfucker. And then I gotta interrupt my whole fucking flow of driving, listening to music, and talking just to fucking hit an X button. And oh my, don't even get me fucking started on the new Google fucking Gemini AI. Holy shit. When I fucking tell my fucking car to set my Google Maps to a destination, I don't need you to be like, okay, I have set your destination to Fuckball Street. Would you like me to do anything else for you today? No, motherfucker. I just need you to set my destination to that place and then shut the fuck up. Because when I then respond to that, when it's like, would you like me to do anything else for you? I say, no. It then continues to talk and is like, okay, I will not set any more destinations for you to go to on Google Maps. Have a good day. I know, motherfucker. I didn't need another sentence from you. I need you to do what the fuck I tell you, then shut the fuck up. Wait, if you are a voice assistant and an AI, I don't need you to have a conversation with me. I need you to do what I told you to do. And then when I say, no, I don't need anything else, to just stay quiet. Just stay fucking quiet. I'm just a girl. Oh my God. It's such horseshit, annoying bullshit. That's how the AI system is in Mercedes cars. It's annoying. Dude, I wouldn't know. I don't drive a fucking Mercedes, Rat Factory. You fucking way to flex your baller ass. We need to reset bingo, by the way. Oh, we do. Check your cards, guys. Humble flex, humble flex. That's okay, Rat Factory. I'm very happy you have a Mercedes. I am a Lambo guy, but they towed it because I'm really lacking subscribers. Okay, so we're at all-time lows at the moment, and the Lambo's gone, and we're really the bottom of the barrel. Listen, the Lambo was out of gas, and then they repoed it, and then they shot me in the kneecaps, and they said, do it one more time, and Big Louie is coming for you. I'm lost as hell. Because you never show boob? Oh my God. My Lambo is based on a true story. That's true, that's true, that's true. Listen, I don't have my boobs on this scene, okay? So like, take it or leave it, man. I don't have my VTuber on here. Thel Lambo when? Bro. When Thel can start paying his own bills. You consider streaming more and not parking in a no parking zone? Okay. That's a good idea, actually. I need to stream more and stop putting my Lambo in handicap parking spots. We just spent 2 hours watching a whole deep dive on how that AI in Alien Isolation works. It's even more terrifying than before. I watched a video about, On God Anonymous? On God Anonymous? On
Anonymous gifted 10 subscriptions.
On Gonymous, thank you for the 10 gift subs. Okay? On Gonymous? Thank you so much. Holy shit. Thank you. On Gonymous Prime. The randoms will be called on the next card. Yeah. This card's already, well, yeah, that card's already called. Okay. Thank you, first and foremost. Second of all, only 100 more of those and we'll get your, exactly, only 100 more 10 gift sub bombs and the Lambo's back. It's as easy as that. No, but I watched a video about how the AI and Amnesia the Bunker works. That shit's cool as hell. And also, Amnesia the Bunker is still a goated ass game. And I hope Alien Isolation is kind of like that, to be honest, because it feels like Alien Isolation kind of have the same vibes as the Bunker, like being hunted by just one scary creature the whole time. It truly is. That makes me so excited. That makes me so excited. Wait, is this thing's red? Isn't it supposed to not be red? I thought this is normally blue. The Bunker is scripted despite seeming so random. I'm saying. Okay, we got a bad boy ghost over there. Makes you think. God damn, I keep kicking. I need fucking speaker stands so bad for my new speakers. I keep kicking them. But like, I have a standing desk, so it's kind of an interesting predicament on how to get speaker stands for a standing desk. But, well, I'll deal with it later. I shouldn't get them off the fucking floor. All right. Yeah, that Venom also scared the hell out of me. I don't doubt it. Venom's a scary person. Steak too juicy, lobster too buttery type eat. I'm fucking saying. This is why I don't need my 1 bazillion gift subs. Guys, I'm lost. If anybody out there knows what to do next in this fucking 25-year-old game, let me know. Feel free to backseat. I have given up. Been walking around in circles for like 45 minutes. I literally Googled it and it said photograph the hairlock and it would spawn a ghost. Or moral support? Okay. Hey, bro, figured out. Okay, okay. I have to solve another puzzle for that first. Yeah, probably. This is as far as I've made it. The forest path. This is the farthest room I've made it in. I don't know what to do. I've made it to the forest path, and then I'm greeted with that. With the seal on the door. You tried taking a pic of the candles? I'm pretty sure I did. I can go back and see. Because taking a picture of the candles, I think, is what I need to destroy one of the talismans. I don't see any more talismans hanging around. Because, like, usually when you take a picture of the talisman, it then shows you where the ghost is that's holding up the, that's keeping the lock there. But, like, I don't know where, like, the current puzzle, I think the last thing I was shown was, like, the lanterns by the water, which I was at earlier, and there was nothing to take a picture of there. Like, and my controller vibrates in here. Okay, and there's a bad guy ghost, so we'll take out this bad guy ghost. God damn this fucking game! Oh, I'm out of ammo, I'm out of ammo. Holy shit, not good, not good. It's every day, bro. It's every day, bro. God damn, this motherfucker's running at me. Ah! Dude, this is such horseshit. Stop! Oh my god, I'm getting ghost mogged. The hitboxes for, like, the puzzle stuff are actually fucking crazy. And sometimes you can't even fucking see them. Okay. Put the clip of the moment Simon was talking about the self-promo clip in Discord. Oh, I want to watch it. I want to know the chat lore. I want to know the lore. Why does my controller just randomly vibrate in some places? Wait, what's a soft lock? Wait, is there something in the water down there? I know, I have ammo. Check for pics, but like, my controller vibrates right here. But like, there's nothing to fucking take a picture of. I actually, well, I know what a soft lock is. I just don't know what I could possibly have soft locked. Let me pull up the properties of my capture card. Cause since this is like an analog capture card, there's like genuinely like actual like signal boosting. They can sometimes need, like if you have bad cables. Let's see. Video input. Brightness. Where were we at before? Like here? And when it could really actually just be up here? Oh my goodness gracious. I can see so much better now. What? I didn't save it. I don't think I saved the settings, and now there's a fucking ghost trying to kill me in here. I have 69 photos left. Dude, this shit is crazy. Spin around. Get away from me. Bro, she doesn't get knocked back at all. Oh my god. I died. I just got fucking one shot. When it vibrates, you are close to a clue or a ghost is near you. Okay. Okay. I got frame mogged. Get it? Fatal frame? Fatal frame mogged? Based on a true story, by the way, guys. Based on a true story, by the way. All right, let's try it with the brightness turned up a little bit. A little bit of signal boosting here for my analog capturing. The kitties are both sleeping so peacefully. I love them so much. So much. God damn, bro. What is my save, man? Thank you, Toady. I appreciate the raid and everything. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate it. Like, my controller's vibrating right now. But why? Give your cat his insulin. He has diabetes. Diabetes cat. Diabetes cat. Like, when it's something, when it's like this ghost and it's important, my controller vibrates once and it also has like a blue symbol on the bottom right of my screen. Fank posted the taco on Discord. Oh my god, this is a fucking revolutionary moment, guys. No way. Oh my god! Fank put the Dorito Loco Taco on Discord. Fank got the taco, guys. Fank got the taco. It finally happened. That's a massive moment for HR. Where's my Zaxby's gift card? Man, you see, well, it took Fank, what, about 2 years to get that Loco Taco, so you're getting there. I don't even eat Zaxby's. Bro's just making shit up. Dude is legit just fucking waffling. On jaw. Bro is just a liar! Oh my goodness. I'm gonna save. I thought I saved last time. I'll take Wendy's. Simon, you're not even a moderator. Have you considered that? I can get a biggie bag. Okay. Wow, okay. A 4 for 4 would hit. Bro, the 4 for 4... I'm pretty sure the 4 for 4 is gone, by the way, and the biggie bag's a scam. Alright, if you are not a seer like I am, and you know the power of what the 4 for 4 used to be, you know the biggie bag's a fucking scam. 2 cheesy roll-ups from Taco Bell. The fact that doesn't make sense. You're paying a tortilla with cheese inside of it. Come on, guys. Come on. It was November 24. I don't know when you got Faz hate. Oh yeah, something like that. $1 breakfast at McDonald's. Yeah, that's for real. The 404. The 404 was pretty good, and then they ruined it. And they ruined it by limiting the options that were applicable in the 404. And then they're like fuck you, we're making the biggie bag. And then the biggie bag has just been the biggest scam that Wendy's has ever pulled, okay? And that's why I'm making a new YouTube video essay called The Wendy's Biggie Bag Makes No Sense. Okay? You're done. Pepperidge Farms remembers the 99-cent JBC. Pepperidge Farms remembers before the fucking FDC, whatever the fuck it is, the fuck you Federal Food Distribution fucking people started putting fucking sesame on that shit, and so now I can't even eat fucking Wendy's because Wendy's has joined the club of all the lazy fucks who put sesame in their fucking bread. You know who doesn't put sesame in their fucking bread? Motherfucking McDonald's. Because they have sesame buns with Big Macs, but still their normal buns don't have sesame in them. Wendy's does. Wendy's, I can't eat fucking Wendy's burgers anymore. I'll never be able to enjoy the succulent, sweet vomit that would accrue in my mouth after eating a fucking Baconator. I'll never be able to enjoy a fucking crispy, creamy, fucking juicy Chick-fil-A sandwich anymore because the fucking sesame shit, none of it. I've eaten dozens of that shit. And then all of a sudden it gets taken away from you because the federal fucking government. And we want to talk about, oh, Donald Trump is making the government smaller. We need smaller. No, they're not. They're taking away my right to eat a goddamn Baconator. Which, if you ask me, is the most American fucking thing you can fucking do is eat a goddamn Wendy's Baconator and eat a fucking Chick-fil-A sandwich. They're fucking homophobic. That's the most fucking American thing you can be is homophobic and eating fried fucking food. And you can't do any of it. Thanks, Trump. The Baconator doesn't have sesame seeds on their bun. I know. But the Baconator, all Wendy's buns have sesame baked inside of them. Okay? I need to make a chat command that explains the federal government sesame lore. Whatever Devin said in chat earlier needs to be made a command that explains sesame lore. I'm allergic to sesame. Yeah, exclamation point sesame. Should I stop and get homophobic chicken? Bro, when I go Chick-fil-A now, all I can get is fucking tenders. I would rather get a fucking sandwich from Chick-fil-A than fucking tenders. Okay, the tenders are kind of dry. If I want to get fucking chicken tenders, I'd go to fucking Raising Cane's. Raising Cane's? They have fucking Texas toast. You know what's on Raising Cane's Texas fucking toast? Sesame. You know how much flavor value sesame brings to Texas toast? None! Nada! What fucking flavor is your little rat shit sized fucking seed gonna add to a fucking toasted bun? What am I even doing anymore? I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing anymore. There ain't a single game on Steam I'm trying to play. Give me a recommendation. Bruh, all my recommendations right now are gonna be horror games. I really like Soma. I really like Amnesia the Bunker. Amnesia the Bunker is a hard game. Soma is a good story-driven horror game that makes you think. Soma is a game that will make you question your existence as a human being. Alien Isolation is apparently pretty good. Papers, Please. No, I'm Not Human. Those are pretty good ones. I'm back by these things. And there's nothing here. Maybe I go try and take a picture of the hairy doorknob. Because that's where we're at now. We're just fucking walking around talking about fucking buns and fucking... I'll install AI. Yeah, you should just get you should just install Google Gemini on your computer. Ask AI what to play, actually. The hairy doorknob's what they called me in high school, first and foremost. We'll get that fucking straight right here, right now. Oh my god, I forgot the main character is named after Simon. Dude, we got so many games where Simon's the main character in that like streak. Soma is what I was playing when I hit partner, fun fact. I definitely didn't hit partner from playing Soma, let me tell you that. I started playing Soma once I knew my partner application was locked in and I wanted to go back to playing games that I enjoyed. So I was like, I'm gonna go play Soma now that I don't have to worry about my viewership, because my viewership on Soma was kind of shit. But I was done worrying about partner at that point, so I went to play Soma. And here we are, now partner, and I have finished Soma. You got a bun in the oven? What the fuck? Are you asking me if I'm pregnant? Is the government making sesame go into bread? Yes, the government is making sesame go into bread. Listen, I will explain this once for the people who were not here for the conversation earlier. The Food and Drug, whatever the fuck, administration, council, what the fuck you say. When's the next IRL investigation stream? Wouldn't you like to know? They have ruled that sesame is one of the leading allergens, like peanuts and stuff like that. So when you go and you look at nutrition facts on the back of things, no, you're fine. When you look at the backs of things, it says like, this contains peanuts. Okay? Which is a good thing, because sesame is a very common allergy. But the problem is that when the FDA fucking puts that shit up, then manufacturers start having to worry about what the fuck is in their shit. And so bread production lines have to be cleaned of sesame to be able, and like decontaminated of sesame to be able to put that this does not contain sesame in it, because it's in their fucking lines. And so instead, which they should be doing anyways, but instead of them taking more time and money to make sure their production line is cleaned of sesame, because the FDA now rules it like a high class allergen, they just take sesame and they just put it in the bread, not even as seeds. So it had the exact opposite effect. So they're greedy. They're greedy. And they didn't want to spend the money, so they're just fucking put it in everything. Go fuck yourself. You know? If you can't eat it, go die. So it was for corporate greed, or corporate greed pretty much is what made them do that. And so now shitty bun and bread manufacturers have sesame in like all their shit. Yeah, go to a grocery store and I cannot buy anything in that whole fucking aisle unless I go to like the bakery section and get my bread from there. Thank you, Fank. I work at the FDA and that's not what you're literally a liar, Christian. You're literally a liar. Big Bread is literally a cartel. I don't fucking doubt it. The Furries and Diapers Association. They work for who they work for. Nah, it ain't us. That's the fucking truth. That's the. Can we get a video about Big Bread? Can we get a video, an expose on Big Bread, please? I need a Big Bread expose. Oh yeah, I'm looking for the hairy doorknob, aren't I? I wouldn't be so pissed if I hadn't spent my entire life not having to worry about it, but then all of a sudden at the ripe age of 22, I'm just like, yeah, it's a Zachary Smeagol type beat. Get him on this. Get him on this. Yet the gas station can sell fucking rhino pills that make your heart blow up. Big Bread wants you to eat sesame, but I tell them I don't want sesame, and they say, no, you need sesame. Big Bread wants you to eat sesame, but I tell them I don't want sesame. They say, no, you need sesame. Big Beautiful Bread. BBC. Big Beautiful Bread. BBC. Big Bread Company. The food pyramid being an actual pyramid scheme should be funnier. Yes, dude. Oh my god. We need an expose about how the food pyramid's a scam. If a man buys rhino pills, it's their fault. That's actually fucking factual information. If you're buying rhino pills, okay, if you are a man and you're buying rhino pills, I hope your fucking dick explodes. Rhino pills. There's like some seriously fucked up shit inside those gas station pills. Big, beautiful croissants. They're great, believe me. I've been to London. I've been to France. I've even seen your underpants, but croissants, they're great. I love the French people. They make good bread. I spoke to President Macaroon and he said, Mr. Trump, you're the greatest. It's the whole point of them, what, to make your cock explode? Yeah. Kratom is like insane that shit's in gas stations. And it's like just actively promoted on billboards and shit. Horror stories I've heard from my bestie, whose former co-workers went to work for. What's the really big vitamin company Nature made? Maybe? Oh, I don't fucking know. But I don't fucking doubt it, dude. All right. Where's the doorknob? Let me take a picture of the hairy doorknob. The hairy doorknob. I can't keep saying hairy doorknob. Who in their right fuck? Momo, what do you see? Momo sees something out the window. What are you doing, Bubba? Momo has the hunter-killer instinct. This motherfucker would seriously rip the throat out of any little fucking creature he fucking got his hands on. I tell you, even the doctor said he had a bunch of lean muscle. He is a fucking tank. All right, I don't know how the hell I managed to like fucking birth a fucking a lethal weapon of a cat, but he is a lethal fucking weapon of a cat. I don't know what happened. And then Thel, he's just deaf and chunky. Momo and Peaches would be unstoppable. Good. He's a D1 gato. D1. Yeah, Momo makes sure he's safe from all the bugs in the basement. Bro, literally ever since I had cat, the fuck is this? What the fuck? What the fuck? Ever since I've had cats, I haven't had to worry about fucking insects in my house. It's kind of crazy. Like, they will literally, like, blow up the fucking house and, like, nuke everything to get one singular bug that comes in here. So anyways, I took a picture of the hairy doorknob. Isn't Harry Doorknob a guy from One Direction? He just used to hunt moles and lizards and stuff at her old place. She would throw them in the air and punt them onto the ground mid-air. Like some fucking Smash Bros player. Bro, I'm fucking... Okay, I took a picture of the doorknob. The door's only open on night 2? What the fuck does that even mean? Night 2? Is this Five Nights at Freddy's? We're only on night 1? At what point do we get to night 2? How do we progress to the second night of this? I'm Googling it too. I'm Googling it as well right now. Yeah, my cat's also just kind of like bullying shit to death until it like gives up and dies. Bell turns on my necessary evil list. I've never really taken it before, but I do have trouble sleeping a lot of the time. Anyways, we'll continue on from that. Okay, what was I gonna search? Fatal Frame? Fatal Frame, what to do with... What to do with lighter? Light the unlit garden lantern in the abyss area. Oh my god. But there's like nothing. There's like nothing that hints to needing to do that. Oh my fucking good. Okay, let's go to the abyss. So many vitamin supplement companies will just list lectin as an ingredient. Like, what kind though? Is it soy? I'm allergic, you fucks? Oh, I didn't even know that was a fucking thing that you had to worry about. That's awful. Lectin? Lectin? Lecitins these balls? Ah! Oh my god, I was trying to text message. Die, motherfucker. It hurts! Oh, stop, you motherfucker! Got you, you're done. You're done. Soft C and lecithin? Lecithin? It does sound like a GLP-1 variant. They love putting soy and stuff because it's cheap as fuck. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by soft C. Lecithin? 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 I don't know what you mean by soft C, bro. As in, it sounds like an S. Lecithin. Lecithin. One time, I was a ghost. When I was in the 3rd grade, I thought I was a ghost. That's what Macklemore said. Emphasis on the le. Lecithin. Lecithin. Sure. All right, the unlit candle. Where's it at? Cameron is phonics. All right, do I light this? I think I do. Item. Lighter. Hang on, chat.
Stop acting like you know the way ahead, like you know the rules. There are no rules, man. We're lost. No. Stop acting like you know the way ahead, like you know the rules. There are no rules, man. We're lost.
We're lost. We're lost. We're lost. I will say, There in the Woods is a redeem. Just by the way, it's a new redeem that no one has ever done yet. I'm just saying. I just watched this episode. Oh my god.
Stop acting like you know the way ahead, like you know the rules. There are no rules, man. We're lost.
Man. We're lost. There are no rules, man. We're lost. We're lost, man. We're lost. Stop acting like you know the rules, man. Like you know the way. We're lost. Wait, it's not on the redeems list? Are you kidding me? I thought I updated that shit. Hang on. How many bits is They're in the woods. Let's see. I have quite a few new ones. I guess they might not be on the list. Hang on. This might entirely be my fault. No, it is on the list. It's right there. That's an alert, not a redeem. You can redeem it through bits. It's a bits redeem. Stop acting like you know the way, like you know the rules, man. We're lost. We're lost. Stop acting like you know the rules, man. Like you know the way. We're lost. Yes, green screen. Congratulations. Stop acting like you know the rules, man. Like you know the way. We're lost. I do need to put we're lost on here for sure. We're lost. Okay, anyways. I thought I was stupid. I'm not. Here, I'll give you guys a free sample. Here you go. Let's see if I can get it to work. Let's open up my streamer bot. Simulate 300 bits.
Come on, girl, you got walkers all around you. They're in the
Okay. Okay. You guys want to see? Yeah, let's fuck it. Fuck it. I'm gonna use the opportunity to show you guys all the new ones to maybe inspire some usage. Okay. There's a Mr. 305 one that has 3 different variants. That can be any of them. The jump scare alert can now be 1, 2, 3. There's 4 different jump scare variants. That are all worth the same amount, but they're just random. The Mr. 305 Mr. 305 variants. They're in the woods. 100. Okay, no one has done 150 bits, and I don't think I should do that for free. Okay, but I will. You're welcome. Here you go. Here's 150 bits.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Year 0 MX gave 150 bits.
You're welcome. I'm saying! Thanks, Miss World. 6, 7 bits. 6, 7.
6, 7.
That's one. He's coming. Somebody has done. 6, 9, 6, 7. I really don't think anyone would ever give this many bits, but if you did want to do 6, 9, 6, 7 bits, this is what would happen.
My life be like
21.
Hey bro, you got a phone call. Remember, share.
I know no one was ever gonna. I know no one's ever gonna do 6, 9, 6, 7. So I wanted to do the most petrifying sound imaginable, for that, redeem. Okay. I think honestly one of the best ones we've done so far is the thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Cause that GIF is diabolical. Let me tell you, when Nick was on my laptop the other night and he saw like my media library on our overlay software, he was like, "Your fucking media library is so cursed," because it fucking is, bro. It's so like, it has Mark Zuckerberg like ready for a bukkake and like all this other crazy shit. I have so many funny things for you guys. Is that what your brain sounds like? Yeah. What? What's question mark? Mark Zuckerberg ready for a bukkake? Whatever, man. My life be like, ooh, ah, ooh. Find the lighter. Head to the abyss. Wait, what time of day you are currently playing and any locked doors that you've encountered? Does it matter what time of day I'm physically, actually, genuinely playing this game? Wait a second, whoa, 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 whoa. Does this game take into account my real world clock time? I know there's a clock on my pause menu, and there's a clock in my balls, and a cock in my balls, but we're not doing this. If it requires me to play this game at specific times, that's just not how this works. That's just not how this works. It's January 6th at 0 p.m. What in the fuck? Midnight. Yeah, it's midnight. It's dusk. With that being said, okay. Fatal frame. I'm having to look this shit up, bro. Is this game actually dependent on what time, on when you play it in real life? Like fucking... There shouldn't be, though. If you're playing on a PS2, you can just manipulate... Yeah, I can manipulate the in-game console clock, but like... I don't... Fatal frame, forest path. Narakumi Shrine, black carving puzzle. Wait, what? Oh, this is someone solving the puzzle. But how do we get that thing? We get that thing with the lighter. Black carving. Oh my god, guys, I'm so lost. Black carving. Fatal frame. Black carving is a key item found in the Abyss Fatal frame. It is used to open the double doors in the Narakami Shrine. Okay, cool. How do I get it? Oh my gosh. I feel like a boomer. How to get black carving fatal frame. Guys, I nary on my channel fucking Google shit. This has gotta be like one of the first times I've like sat here and actively tried to fucking Google the solution to something. I think my chin ate my patience. Might change my name to Two Chins. What? I don't understand. I don't understand the joke. Black carving. Black carving. Bro coming in here dropping the worst jokes I've ever heard in my life. But you know what? I commend you. Hey, Momo. They're bars, quite frankly. Remember the unlit lantern that is near the north edge of the yard? Examine the lantern and use the lighter. After the lantern is lit, a hidden compartment will open and you'll receive the black carving. What the fuck? Oh my fucking god. Bro. Actually, hang on. You know what's bars? You know what's bars? Actually, I'll wait. I'll wait. I mean, I apparently have to fucking... Oh yeah, find out more about the spirit. Later on, you'll appear to begin to pass by on your way from the North Row. You came out one of its pure local name. It was an easy capture. You can walk to the Whispered Remains and won't see many items. In the rubble room, there's a valuable vanishing ghost you can now capture there as well. Go through the burial room and enter the rubble room. Rubble room. Save the game. Those who find a ghost. Blind woman, as you approach the north door, a macabre ghost will appear right in front of you for a split second before the drawn shoes. Head towards the north. The blind woman startles and you mustn't panic. Just quickly switch to the finder and shoot. Right in front of you, become painfully familiar with this ghost later on. What is going on? Will the joke land better later? Dude, well, I'm just trying to fucking figure out what the fuck to do in this fuck-ass game right now. I can't find a cohesive guide for this game. Me fucking neither, dude. This game is so hard. Maybe a video would be a better guide for this? Maybe, but there's like not any fucking video guides. Ugh. Let me try and find a video guide. Okay. YouTube. And what am I YouTubing? I'm YouTubing Fatal Frame walkthrough. How about that? Fatal Frame. Full game gameplay walkthrough. Okay, let's just try and skip to where we are, huh? Ew, they're playing this game like super stretched and like emulated. Oh, God. So we defeated this ghost. I think that's how we got the lighter, no? Okay. She's still outside. Take your time, buddy. Their in-game date says October 17th. Yours says January 6th? Bruh! What? It might actually matter when we fucking play this game. Man turning. Okay, well, I didn't get a picture of that, okay? I'm just gonna skip until they're at a point that I'm not at yet. Okay, I don't need this video going in 4K because it's making scrubbing through it a fucking disaster. Okay, here we go. So, what is that? One more Buddha statue. Okay, I remember that. Look, okay, look. Some other play. Okay, this is the picture that we last saw. And it was the unlit lantern. If they go to this lantern and somehow light it, I will lose my fucking marbles. A monk in the dark? Is that what the noise is in this fucking room? Oh, you gotta be joking me. Not the monk in the dark, bro. The fucking monkey in the dark. The monkey eating the fucking banana in the fucking cold, wet rainforest all by himself. Think about that. The monkey in the dark. They're gonna go light this. They're gonna go light it. I should not be doing this shit in front of a fucking green screen for you guys to fucking... Okay. Well, here we are. Look at where I am. Look at where I am. Look at where I am. Why did it say use the lighter this time? Why did it say to use the lighter this time? So the camera position matters, which is horrendous, which is fucking horrendous. That is absolute horseshit. There's something inside the top of the guard lantern, the black carving. Is that why the door for didn't work? I don't even fucking talk. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Loker genuinely? I don't want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it. Bomo, stop trying to break the window. No, sir. What he doing? He punching the screen on the window. What the fuck are you? Did I not get a picture of that? It's a fantastic question, my lady. Where have the children gone? That was spooky. If you ask me, I'm a little spooked. Despite all my rage, I'm still just the rat in the cage. I also want to talk about how I had the right idea thinking to use the lighter on the hair. Because, like, the game made a point to recognize the hair as something we needed to deal with. But the game at no point decided to ever hint that maybe we should light that lantern. Okay? So, like, I was thinking logically while the game wasn't. Okay? Because it would make sense to use the lighter on something that the game pointed out that was flammable. But, nope. The game decided we're actually gonna have you light this thing that we never acknowledged was unlit. Except for, like, the visual cue. That wasn't very apparent. Anyways. Oh, you know what? I did notice the blood down here earlier, but I never thought to look up. Gamers don't look up moment. Did we do the randoms? We did not. But we also don't have all of our winners yet. Where the fuck is the monk in the ceiling? Monk in the ceiling? Monk in the ceiling. I'm looking for the monk? What the fuck did they call it? Decapitated monk or some shit? It was right next to the hanging cloth. There's a bad ghost coming. There's a bad ghost coming. Ah! Oh damn, I did massive damage to that fucker. Oh, what? What's this? Oh, did I just one-shot them? Damn, I one-shot that fucker. Oh, there we go. Like, to see the wavy thing happening there is so hard. The monk in the dark, that's what it was. The monk in the dark. That's what they called me. A guy like me is always a monk in the dark. Am I winning against the horror ghost? No, I'm fucking not. No, I'm not. I'm not. Quite frankly, I just spent the past hour running in a fucking circle. But we're making progress now. On the way to the next puzzle. That will probably take me another horrendous amount of time. But here we are. I've never once Googled a solution to any puzzle on this channel before. But this game made me do it. I am enjoying it. I'm definitely enjoying it. It's very cool. This is definitely like one of the... Okay. Why are there monkeys flying at me again? Do I still need to get the picture of this guy over here? No, okay. It's more like an hour and a half. All right, Arlie. Okay, okay. Thanks for rubbing it in. All right, we have the black carving. It reacted. Do I match the carvings to the characters? Maybe. Maybe! Maybe I do! I can't fucking read kanji. That's not even kanji. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Looks like fancy kanji. Thanks, Spartan. Okay. Move. Okay, we need this symbol here. And then we need this symbol here. And then we need... What? This symbol here. This symbol here. I'm a little bit of a genius, guys. Here's the voice changer. No, I don't think so. Oh my god, we made it to the fucking shrine, guys. Holy shit. We made it to the shrine. There's an audio tape on the pedestal. An audio tape with a blue label. Looks like it's half used. There are 4 Buddha statues and some kind of pedestal in front of the small shrine. One more. What? The last maiden. One more Buddha statue. One more Buddha. That's what we need. We need one more Buddha. We need one more Buddha. Do you call creepy child for the head? Yeah, oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There was also a creepy child ghost. Something's making my heartbeat run away. Like that boom ba doom boom boom ba doom boom bass. Got my heartbeat running away. Beating like a drum and it's drumming away. Okay. I would like to... Oh my god! Ah! Good luck, TBH? What do you mean, good luck? Oh my god. What do you mean good luck, Hiko? Oh, what the fuck do you mean? Is this a fucking boss battle? I spent long enough even getting here! Oh, good grief. Yeah, man, good luck. I don't even have any heals left. Oh, got him! Yeah, bitch! Ah! Oh my god, he's got range! I'm getting Albert Einstein in this bitch. I'm already not great at this combat. Ah! Just take him out again. Dude, his health is not even going down! Oh! Where'd he go? I'm about to get eaten. I'm about to get eaten. I'm about to get eaten. Just fuck it. Just take a picture. Just take a picture. We gotta move back away from the wall. Oh, this is time. This is opportunity. Prime opportunity. Massive damage. Massive damage. Zero shot. Core shot. Back shots. Back shots. Back shots. Massive back shots. Let's go ahead and take that one. Massive back shots. Easy fucking peasy. And I'm out of ammo. That was on the shitty film too. Let me get the good film out. I'll show you what the fuck I'm at, Albert Einstein. I'll show you where I'm at, Albert. You little bastard. E equals MC squared, you bitch. Take my meds. Take my meds. Where'd you go? He went behind me! You sneaky Damn, he does damage! Jesus Christmas! Motherfucker does big damage! Run, you bastard! Dude, I mean, she seriously runs like she's never walked a day in her fucking life! Is he right above me? Bro, I need you to back off. He's scared of me now. Got him. Core shot, massive shot, big back shots, cum shots. Holy shit. My window's open, chat. I gotta stop. There are literally children who live all around my fucking house. Literally, families with children live all around me, and I'm screaming massive back cum shots out my fucking window. Just take the picture. Just take the picture. Some Shinto gate somewhere shown in the photo. Is that just outside of this shrine? What could be at the Shinto gate? Oh, is he dead? Did I just kill him? I killed him. Oh. You know, I'm a little bit of a gamer. I'm a little bit of a gamer. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. The statue is at the Shinto gate. First try, first try. Take a picture of that. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Another Buddha statue appears in the row of Buddha statues. Okay, but I guess I need to go get one. Yeah, I gotta go get one. Everyone's a gamer in Pride Month. That's true. Happy Pride. It's at the Shinto gate. Look at that. There's something right here. There's a notebook on the staircase. Most of the pages have been torn out. First time playing. Yeah, I've never played any of them. Never played any of them. I'm about to go, and I'm playing this one on PlayStation 2. I'm about to go to the shrine deep within Himuro Mansion, where they say a piece of the true holy mirror is kept. The curse has already left its mark on my 4 limbs. There's no escaping it. About the only thing left now that I can do is try to reseal the Hell Gate. It's my last hope. 1 is rough, but it's kind of dope. The horror elements. Dude, everything's a fucking jump scare in this game. I've already found 4 of the Buddha statues. I need to get a piece of the mirror, and I've managed to get an old document that tells the location of the 5th statue. Make observance to the Buddha at the base of the large gate, so that the souls of the piteous maidens can reach up to the heavens. If all goes well, no one will ever have to read these notes, and I can use them toward the content of my next book. In closing, I would like to thank my assistant and my partner, Tomei Hirosaka. If it weren't for the words she left with me, I wouldn't have been able to complete this, my final work. If I don't return, please give her a decent burial. Signed, Junsei Takamine, September 15th. I put the novelist's death note in my file. It's fucking his death note. So is that picture I took of the shrine not... Must be a different Shinto gate that was in that picture. Okay. When she touch your ring-a-ling? Light Yagami? What the fuck is Yagami? I mean, it always feels like he's forgiving something. Yagami? Yeah, gummy? I don't fucking know what you're saying. Oh, my shit's vibrating. 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 Light Yagami. The protagonist of Death Note. Oh, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Wait, it's not Yagami? Bro. No! I have rules against backseating, but I also ask for help sometimes if it gets too bad. For the most part, okay. Oh my god, I keep kicking my shit, man. I gotta stop kicking my shit. I keep kicking the shit under my desk. If it's something that I should have known by this point, and for some reason I just didn't fucking read something right, like, that is nice to know. You know what I mean? The game told me something. Okay, then I would like to be reminded, because I'm forgetful, and this game does tell you things very poorly and has terrible translations. So sure, a vague hint. For sure, that's okay. That's okay. I've struggled enough. Oh, damn, we calling the randoms now? Boom, boom, boom. God damn. This shit's booming. This game is so fucking hilariously vague. Like, for no good reason. Guys, check your bingo cards. Cricket Chaos. You want to be back where the crucified man was? Jesus fucking Christmas. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Then you know what? You know what? Then I'm just gonna stop right here, because the bingo card just ended and I just need to go back to where I last left off, and good stopping points are good stopping points. Okay? We can put a ribbon on it. We actually made good progress. Oh, we didn't make good progress today. I'm gonna keep it a buck. The amount of progress that we made today was equivalent to a 5-minute section in the fucking tutorial video. In the Let's Play. I've been live for 3 hours, and I've made 5 minutes of progress. We fucked around a lot too. Okay, that's a part of the fun. Okay, but it was nice meeting you guys too. If anyone came in here new today, it's Friday night. I hope you enjoyed your fun times here. I'll probably back tomorrow, right? I don't have what's tomorrow is what? Just Saturday? Just a simple. I'm better at video games than this. I promise. The rant about Wendy's was like 20 minutes. Okay. You guys don't have to call me out about it like that. First of all, you guys asked for my rant about Wendy's. Okay? First and foremost, that was asked for. I would appreciate if you guys would join me in rating out this stream to elsewhere, to a friend. Let me see. Let me see. I know what to do. Look at this motherfucker. Look at this motherfucker. Please get the raid message. Get the raid message. Get the fucking raid message, guys, because we got a good one. We got a good one. You know him and you know him well. Devin in HD asked us for a game suggestion and then immediately went and streamed it. Talk about a motherfucking goat like that. Talk about a goat like that. Guys, go say hello to Devin. They are playing Alien Isolation, and they said that they hate horror games. Do not copy and paste the sunflower seed URL. For the love of God, don't do that to Devin. Go hang out with Devin as they play Alien Isolation for the very first time. I'll see you guys later. I appreciate you so much.